Good evening. Welcome along. It is another edition of the Sunday Bunch here on SAFC Fan TV. A little bit different tonight as well. We are broadcasting live to my TikTok page. So if you want to tune in there, I've forked out a load of money on this. See this camera at the back, which costs an absolute fortune. So if you're on my TikTok page and you give us a follow, that'll just flip round and you'll get your little follow on there. So we'll see if we can get them numbers up. There are going to be four of us. Jack's running a little bit late, but joining us tonight, we've got Terry and Jacob. Terry, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been great. Just been chilling out because I feel absolutely shattered the day after yesterday's events.
Well, it was exhausting, but great. Jacob, how's your day been? Down because you're down in London as well, aren't you?
Fantastic, parading the badge in front of those Arsenal fans who are a bit numb, put it that way. Spending the afternoon, having more pints in celebration, really. Obviously, I know it was only a point, but the feeling does feel like a bit of a win at the same time. Having more pints, watching this afternoon's footy and seeing the Mags get beat as well. So happy weekend going into the international break.
Right, and it was a win-win situation for you yesterday as well, wasn't it, Jake? Because your second team is up.
Well, being in the pub that I was fearing for my own safety, literally, for when me celebrating both the goals, but got through it, and yeah, I was happy. Let's just put that so there was one happy face compared to a load of others in that pub yesterday.
So you celebrated both goals, Arsenal and Sunderland goals. You did, yeah?
No, don't get carried away, man.
Right, okay. Don't forget, of course, we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat if you wish to have your say. First up, as they normally are, Las Palmas Mackham is up there, and we have been joined by Jack Dodds is here now as well. There's Jack. Hiya, Jack. Better late than never. That's what we like to say.
Did my best, Will.
How's your day been?
It's been great, mate. Obviously, great result yesterday for us. Brentford won, and I'm always happy about that. And then managed to get done a few hours early from work, rushed home, and get on the Sunday bunch. So all in all lining up quite well, mate.
Fantastic. I don't know why I can't put our little fancy bits on for some reason, but never mind.
Phil, don't get your fancy bits on.
Listen, there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with getting your fancy bits out when you've had a point off Arsenal. As which one was in the Wheat Sheaf yesterday during the show, and we did get an Arsenal fan up who looked very much like Ian Wright actually, and he got his fancy bits out as well, which we won't go into. Right, listen, like we say, come and have your say if you wish to do so. Las Palmas Mackham already on there. We'll try and include as many as we can. Everybody would have taken a point, I think, at the start of the game anyway. Don't forget, keep doing those follows. If you watch the counter, it's flipping away there. We're on 59, so we can get to 60. We are live on the Wee Philly TikTok page as well, if you want to go on there. Right, quick mention to Wolf Competitions, our channel sponsors for this season. Thanks very much to them for that. That is wolfcompetitions.co.uk. They are our main sponsor, and there is a link in the description if you want to check out the website. Before we start on yesterday, because I know we're all full of it, but we have played Everton since we were last together. So a couple of points I quickly want to bring up. The main one, of course, was this penalty decision, which went to VAR. And, of course, it was Sunderland 1, Everton 1. Jack, what were your thoughts on the penalty?
You said Sunderland 1, Everton 1. Are we on about the Everton game?
The keen handball.
Well, you obviously wasn't with us, but we've had the Everton game since we were last on, so I quickly want to just run over this penalty decision, the handball in the box. Your thoughts on it?
Oh, sorry. Yes, right. I'm with you now. They've described it as his arm being, is it in a natural position, or what was the word that was used? Justifiable position. For me, there's no reason why his arm needs to be out there. His arm's extended out like that. It's not by his side. It's not tucked behind him. It's completely blocking Sadiqi's cross. So I can't understand why that wasn't given, to be honest, Phil. And I can't understand the explanation that that's a justifiable position. I don't get it.
Right, okay. The penalty, Terry, blatant handball. Should we have had a penalty? And possibly all 3 points then?
My personal opinion, yes, but I think what they're trying to do now, VAR, is go with the on-field decisions more often. There was 2 today in the Brentford game. The first one was definitely a penalty. The second one was touch and go, and they kind of got it the wrong way around. So they seem to go with what's going on with the referee. If the referee decides it's a penalty, they tend to go with that unless it's a blatant, obvious error. So, yeah, I don't know whether the ball bounced off part of his body, some minute part of his body first, then hit his arm. I don't know, but for me, it looked a stone wall penalty.
Right, okay. Jacob, were you screaming at the telly?
Yeah, VAR was brought in for decisions like that. Like what Jack said, his arm is out in an unnatural position when Siddiqui makes the cross. The fact that, it went to VAR and the referee had a second look at it makes it worse. To be honest, I'm baffled how that was not given on Monday. Really baffled. But looking at all the refereeing decisions from the start of the season that have gone to VAR, I do agree with Terry in a way. They're trying to sort of change the balance a little bit where the referee can have more of a say rather than relying on VAR completely. But at the same time, that should be clear and obvious, to be honest. I know maybe the linesman on the near side might not have had the best angle from it, but that should be, if it's going to go to VAR, that should have been literally even first glance at one angle given straight away. I was baffled by it, really was.
Right, okay. Malcolm Cabby on the chat, who seems to be our friend now, which he wasn't for a while, but I think he is now, says the referee was a Sheffield United fan. People kept saying that. They kept when we was there, but I'd like to think that didn't have any influence on the game.
Well, Philly, I think the referee last night was definitely an Arsenal fan, to be honest.
Well, we will come on to the Arsenal game, Jack. That's the whole idea of doing that, but we'll quickly go to Everton. Don't worry about that. Tony Lee on the chat says, Dodsey looks like Errol Flynn with that tash. You won't know who Errol Flynn is. Well, Jack, Tony, Jack hasn't got a clue who Errol Flynn is, but if he knew enough about Errol Flynn, he would be pleased.
I'll tell you who I do know, though, Phil. Trey Hume. That's whose tash it's like.
Yeah, but I bet Trey Hume's not as big as Errol Flynn. Let's just leave that there. Right then, okay. Did Reggie set up right? He went the same way as Chelsea. We was debating it on Sunday last week whether it was going to just go the same way. So for the Everton game, he decided to do same again. Jacob, did he set up right?
I personally thought he might have, considering the opponents we were facing that night obviously had less quality than what Chelsea would have offered that day. I thought he might have tweaked it a little bit, find a way to maybe get Talby in the front three, or I don't know, was it take out a midfielder and go with a midfield? Oh, Philly's gone blank there.
No, carry on. Just carry on.
There is. I thought he might have tweaked things slightly on an attacking point of view, but it's understandable in a way. That system we're currently playing, he went with the same lineup yesterday as well. That shape and the players understanding their roles is second to none at the minute, and it's so hard to break down. Even obviously, there's a reason Arsenal being top of the league scored 2 against that yesterday. We'll come on to that a bit later, but yeah, the fact that obviously he went with it, people can argue whether it's wing backs or 5 at the back, but I think it goes 5 at the back when we're defending Leeds, and I was sort of happy in a way that he was willing to stick with players that have been in confidence playing from the start at the minute.
Right, okay. Sorry about that, Jacob. I was trying to be clever. I was talking to TikTok while you was doing your thing. That's what the confusion was. Yeah, just very quickly, if you can hit the like button, by the way, we're on 53 at the moment. We do like to try and get to 100 on a Sunday. It'll take you a second to do that. Jack, he set up the same as Chelsea for the Everton game. Was that the right move, do you think?
I know a lot of people like the argument that you should never change your winning team, but that's not necessarily something I always agree with. I think you've got to set up for what that game's going to entail. And against Chelsea, we knew what we were coming up against in terms of the club world champions, one of the biggest clubs in Europe. Let's face it, really. We knew that the expectation is that we were going to try and sit in, be compact, frustrate, and hit them on the counter. So I agreed with going forward. Our view is a 5 at the back. And the reason I think it's more of a 5 as opposed to a 3 is because Reynaldo and Hume are both quite defensive-minded fullbacks. I think if we had, for example, Talby there, or for example, when Chelsea did it and they had Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses playing there, it was very much 3 at the back because that's 2 wingers who really want to get forward. But against Everton at home, I wanted to see us attack a little bit more and do what we've done in the other home games. And I know, we do still tend to play on the counter-attack, but I think playing 3 centre-halves, Hume and Reynaldo as a back line, I think we really struggle to get out. And I did see that in parts yesterday as well, when we had the ball deeper in the pitch and we want to get forward, because we've got so many defensive players in the pitch. I did think it was a little bit difficult to kind of move through the lines, pass the ball up the pitch, just because we were sort of almost lacking an extra body in the middle. And I think we look really good with 3 in midfield. We really dominate the midfield battle. And when we do counter-attack, we'll have options to pass through the team. And you were noticed against Everton, there was a lot of sloppy passes. We were giving the ball away needlessly at the back. And to an extent, I do think that was the same yesterday. I felt as if we were a little bit sloppy in and around our own box. And I wonder, is that because there isn't as many options for the defenders in terms of playing the ball forward? If we had another midfielder on the pitch, we'd maybe be able to play forward a little bit easier. So against Everton, I thought it was a little bit too negative, and I thought we invited a little bit of pressure. And I think that's why we started off so poorly, is that we struggled to play through the team. So I wasn't particularly pleased that he went 5 at the back at Everton, and I think that's what I mainly put the slow start down to.
Right, okay. On the chat, though, Jim Buck says, in Regis we trust, which I'm sure we all do.
100%.
Fantastic. Terry, your thoughts on it against Everton? Did it cost us the 3 points the way you set up?
No, I just think we started sloppy. I think we're just, and sometimes when you are the favourites and you've got to try and, go out there and score some goals. Everton were good. Let's take nothing away from Everton. Everton are a good side. They won yesterday. The 2 games lost before this was against Manchester City and against Tottenham. So they are a decent side, and they really got some skillful players, with the likes of Grealish. So, and that guy who scored the goal, I forget his name now, Ndiaye or something. So I think they came out the blocks and we just froze a little bit. I think yesterday was much better. I think I do agree with the 5 at the back against the better sides, and I think I'm like Jack. I think I prefer the 4-3-3 probably against Everton, a bit more midfield, a bit more attack. And I would personally prefer maybe Truder, Siddiqui, and Xhaka in the middle, and have Xhaka more of a forward player, more of a forward attacking midfielder, and more Truder as the defensive-minded midfielder behind Siddiqui and Xhaka. But yeah, I mean, the day, look, it is what it is. We've not lost for a couple of games now. We've done really well this season. We've won 5, we've drawn 4, we've lost 2. It's a fantastic start of the season, so we can't really criticise at the moment what Regis the Bruce has done.
Absolutely, and still in a Champions League position. I've been getting wrong off our last actually, because I've started saying I'm going to be checking the date on my passport and all that. And she's going, well, what for? And I said, well, because we're going on a European tour. And she says, you're a knobhead or whatever. Supposed to mean. So there you go. So she's not very happy. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Do we start looking towards Europe? Jim Bug also says Moyes is still a bell end, apparently. Look, before we move off Everton, then, do you think a point was a fair result in the end then after seeing what you saw? Jack?
Yeah, I think it was very much a first half of... I don't think Everton were particularly brilliant. I just think we were really poor in that first half, which has, been a real rarity for us this season, is us not being great. but we completely turned on the second half. And again, I say this all the time about Lebris, where if the first half doesn't go to plan, he will always change something at half time and we will always come out and look so much better. And that's exactly what we did, scoring, what was it, just after 40 seconds. So I think, you know, you can say a really poor first half, but quite a strong second. A point apiece. I think both teams probably have come away with that relatively pleased. Don't think either team could have justified getting any more.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat before I pass this round. Joe MCM says we competed in both games. Sunderland back on the map. I did see something on social media as well over the weekend that was a Newcastle fan complaining about for all those people, those Newcastle fans who said they wanted this lot back in the Premier League. I hope you're happy with yourself now. I hope you're happy when you watch us get battered on Derby Day. And I thought I'll save that. Jacob,
nervous already.
Jacob, was a point a fair result?
I think so. Rewatching the game a few days back, I must say I was bitterly disappointed with how we started, to be honest, in terms of when we were trying to play the ball out from the back. We were so lethargic in terms of trying to keep the ball and finding a teammate of our passing. Really, really poor. Everton took advantage of that. They should have been out of sight, really, with the chances that they obviously Grealish hit the post. Brilliant finish from Ndai in the end, but their strike was it Barry should have really put them 2-0 ahead. Just thought it was an absolute stinker of a miss. But second half, I thought it was a great response, really great response. Apparently, there's rumours behind the scenes that Granit absolutely bottled them in terms of, was it a massive hairdryer treatment in the dressing room at half time? And obviously that rattled them up and we go out and score within 40 seconds. But what I mean to say is Granit basically said we were bottle jobs in that first half and we had to go and show a lot more in the second period to get a result out of the game. We got a point in the end, but obviously a bit disappointed it wasn't. I thought what we did in terms of the effort we put in the second period, obviously we should have had a penalty. I think it was Mukiele missed a header that should have been on target. Enzo obviously had a half chance deflected, obviously well saved from Pickford in the end. But overall, a fair result, a point to point, but a missed opportunity at the same time.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, want to find it. Somebody, Anthony Pryor, delete me from this website. Delete yourself, mate. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what we've got and said. We haven't to say, have we? Terry, point fair result in the end against Everton.
Yeah, I can't say much more than the lads have already said. End of the day, Everton could have been 2 or 3 up in the first 20-25 minutes. So come away with a point. You know, we could have ended it. We could have won it with a penalty. We should have really had a penalty, but I think it's a fair result overall. Like I said, Everton are a decent side. They'll be in middle, probably top half of the table this season in my eyes.
Well, I hope so. That's one of my bets to finish in the top half, as well as me top 4 finish.
Oh, we will. I wonder about Everton.
Oh, you want Everton? No, well, fair enough. That's all right. Oh, I like a bit.
There's over a quarter of the season already gone. We're in 4th place. How well, man?
I like a bit of confidence from you, Terry. Terry, you're normally Mr. Feet on the ground and all that, aren't you? Never mind. I like
enjoy it.
Listen, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Let's get carried away, as the phrase goes. Right, just very quickly, look, we do like to hit 100 likes if we can on the channel on a Sunday. We're already on 61. If you just hit that thumbs up, we'll take you a second to do so. And if you're watching the channel and you haven't subscribed, it's free to subscribe to the channel. Please do so. And if you're watching on TikTok, give us a follow on the Wee Philly TikTok page. I can hear the counter just flipping away behind me, so that's good. If you give us a follow and then watch the counter at the top, you'll see it move. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Right then, Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Right, you saw the starting lineup an hour before kickoff. Terry, your thoughts? Were you happy with the lineup when you saw it?
It's exactly the line I predicted up on the Friday night on my channel, and I predicted it on the beginning of the vlog. It's, you know, that does it. It picks itself at the moment, I'm afraid. It's a very good lineup. 5 at the back. We have to go 5 at the back against Arsenal. We can't take them for granted. We've got to keep that nice and tight as best we can because, you know, they're superb at the moment. And the 5 points, 6 points clear for a reason in the Premier League. So, yeah, I had no qualms at all with that lineup.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly before I pass this round, Jim Buck says he's told the missus, he said, we're going to Barcelona and Madrid, and she got all excited until he said, for the Champions League. All right, let's get carried away. Let's do it, man. Right then, Jacob, were you happy with the starting lineup when you saw it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the like what Terry said, the lineup I predicted before kickoff. Going with, it was definitely a back five. Obviously, some people would say, like what Jack said though, Rionaldo and Hume. Obviously, they're fullbacks that don't necessarily like to get forward as much. Only on a few occasions during the game. Obviously, it was keeping the shape, trying to shut out Arsenal's attacking threat, particularly out wide with Trossard and Saka. Obviously, second half when energy levels dropped, Labrie was forced to make changes, but also credit to where it's due, it was the right changes at the right time because we took advantage of Arsenal not going for the third. But yeah, I think that in terms of structure, shape, and when we need to press and win the ball back in key areas of the pitch, I would say that is the strongest lineup we have available to us at the minute if we're going to play that style.
Right, okay. Jack, you saw that starting 11. Did it excite you?
I mean, I was expecting more or less the same 11, really. There isn't really much, we can rotate. I mean, one thing I know, Philly, you're quite a big fan of him, and some people may disagree with us, but I'm just not convinced by Traore yet. I don't really see what he's offering us. He doesn't seem to be particularly quick. He doesn't seem to be particularly confident. And I'm sure with time, we will be able to see what he's offering. And a few weeks ago, to be fair, I was doubting Talby, but I think what Talby does give you is a really good defensive work ethic and great pace on the break. So I wanted to see Talby come in, especially after he made the difference against Wolves and Chelsea 2 games in a row, coming off the bench to make a big impact. So I want to see him come in on the right. I think we'd look better with him as opposed to Traore. But I think going very defensively against, let's face it, one of the best teams in Europe at the minute, getting as many sort of big centre halves in the pitch as we could to battle with Arsenal. One of their strengths has been set pieces, physicality, winning headers and stuff. I think it was ultimately the right way to set up, and of course we ended up getting a result at the end of the night. So yeah, it definitely was the right system, and you can't fault it when you get a result.
Right, okay. Traore, see, I don't see him as bad as people do, and I mean, maybe probably a good thing anyway, but I reckon him in our team last year would have been a shining light. He'd have stood out a mile. I just think that the standard of our team has just upped so much. Maybe he's not up to speed just yet, possibly.
He just frustrates me. I feel like when he gets the ball, everything sort of slows down, and I feel like other players get the ball and they can make a chance, they can take a shot.
Right, okay. SG on the chat says even though Lefebvre gave the ball away for their goal, there was still a chance to stop it, so it wasn't his fault, because some people are giving him a bit of stick on the chat there. Jacob, you're one in there?
Yeah, the problem is with Traore at the minute, if we're sitting deep and looking to counter, for me, he's just not quite the player we need at this moment in time on that right-hand side that's going to beat the opposition right back consistently. Sorry, what was that, Jack?
Just saying, sorry to interrupt, but he's just not quick enough.
No.
Ultimately, and I know Lefebvre's not quick, but Lefebvre has got great passing range. He's great on the ball, and he can play those balls in behind. Ideally, whoever's on the opposite flank.
That's the area in January that we will address first, I think, because we've experimented it a few times trying to play Chris Rigg there, and for me, it doesn't work. He's not a natural right wing. I think Chris Rigg wants to be involved more in the centre of the park, being on the ball a lot more, trying to pick out those passes to the forward line, potentially even slotting into that number 10 role. I think Rigg is the same. He's just not that type of player in terms to try and beat a fullback for pace. But Talby, we did start with Talby on the right-hand side at the beginning of the season, but Labrie, I think, clocked that he's much more effective when he's on the left-hand side because his right foot's really strong. but it's a question of what we'll look to do to try, and obviously because we'll have to rotate the team within a month or two anyway with the AFCON coming up, so it'll be interesting to see what Lebris has in mind to obviously get the most out of that right-hand side, which is where I think we're probably the weakest right now.
Right, okay. Terry, you was one in there as well?
Yeah, that's why I've been playing Chris Rigg, I think, because he's going to be one that's going to be playing on the right during AFCON for the beginning of it, until we get one or two players back, because there's nobody else for me who can probably play over there at the moment.
Right, okay. Jim Bug says Traore not an upgrade on Paddy. See, I mean, I had a soft spot for him as well, but never mind. He's he's out on loan, isn't he? Look very quickly. Where we at? Oh yeah. Coffee Goblin says we still have Diarra and Mundle to come back as well. Can't wait to see who we bring in January. It does remind me. I was at the Everton game and I was corporate, and they brought Mundle and Diarra in, and they had them on stage. They was asking them about when they were going to be back, and Diarra said he's going to be back. He said, for the Mags, and all the room went, yeah. So that was from the horse's mouth down there. So, that's Diarra back for then. Mundle before that, apparently, I believe. Right, okay, we've got 73 likes, which means we just need, 27 more people to hit that thumbs up. If you're watching on a mobile device, you've got the live chat on. Just close that down. You'll see the thumbs up. Smash that, give us a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And don't forget, on TikTok, keep my little counter there. Just keep that, like that. Keep it spinning round. That's what we like. Give us a follow on TikTok. Right. Do you agree with how Regis Lebris set up against Arsenal then? I think we said earlier, like the teams like Arsenal, you're doing with your back five and stuff like that, Jacob?
Absolutely. In terms of, we had to obviously play a physical side to our game, but obviously up the tempo in that department as well. You had to consider the fact they had key players missing, the likes of Odegaard, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Madueke, key players out for them. And obviously they have Moreno starting up front, who's not a natural out-and-out forward. Obviously, Gyökeres is a big miss for them yesterday, but he really, really struggled against Ballard in that physical battle when he was going up for loose balls. And obviously, on Match of the Day, they were on about Theo Walcott thought Ballard should have been sent off for that elbow on Moreno. What are you watching? Seriously, it was... Ballard literally had him in his back pocket the entire game. Really, really struggled. It was one of the best performances I've seen from a centre-back in a Sunderland shirt ever, in my opinion. Absolutely different class. And same, obviously, in terms of the fullbacks, for a long period of time, we've done well to cope with Trossard and Saka. Obviously, second half, the energy levels dropped. In terms of, obviously, you have to hold your hands up. It was a fantastic goal from Trossard. Obviously, the communication from Siddiqui telling Hume to obviously watch Calafiori on the overlap. Siddiqui obviously letting Trossard in on his right foot. Fantastic striker. If that was earlier on in the game when there was more energy levels about us, I think we would have had the capability to stop that. But yeah, overall, it was the shape and obviously same sort of tactics I thought we go with, similar to Chelsea, and for a long period of time it worked, but fair play to Reggie for changing it when it was needed as well.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Coffee Goblin says, yeah, you're right, Rig on the right for AFCON. And also SJ, was it somebody was saying Mundle back for the Fulham game? Sorry, I've lost Johnny. Oh, that's it there. Sexy Ian said that. Terry, game plan spot on from Reggie?
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with Jacob a little bit to do with the Siddiqui. Well, I don't really blame Siddiqui for that goal. I mean, to be honest, if you kind of watch it back a little bit, Dingra was a bit weak by the corner flag on the left-hand side, and he should have really cleared his lines, and he mucked about a little bit, and we lost the ball, and it came through to Trossard. The first goal, the free, where the game was mucking about in the middle. It's just these little errors. It wasn't so much that we got tired. I thought that Arsenal just raised the game. You know, they got a rollicking at half-time. They came out, they were quality side, best side in the Premier League, and they raised the game and they pushed us back, and that's what good teams going to do. We've just got to make sure we defend. I agree with Jacob 100% with Ballard. For me, Ballard is, not, if not the best centre-back in the Premier League right now, one of the best. He is absolutely an all-round awesome centre-back. I mean, that goal is more like a striker's goal, and the defending was absolutely amazing. From the first minute to the last minute, saving the block in the 94th minute or 97th minute, whenever it was. And obviously the first 7 minutes it was when he put that challenge on Marino and basically just said, stay up my way, son. You're in my back pocket 100%.
Yeah, very good. Jack, game plan spot on from Reggie?
Yeah, I think we're set up to match them, really. And that's one thing I do really appreciate about the Breeze, is you will take it game by game. I touched on before, and the lads have as well, about how physical Arsenal are. Obviously, they've got Mikel Merino up front, who is massive. Their game plan's going to be around trying to get crosses into the box. I mean, their entire back four are all giants as well. You know, they've got big lads in midfield with, Rice and Zubimendi as well. So I think it was all going to be about the physicality, really. Having those three big lads at the back for us, at centre-back, Truda, Ballard and Mukele, was always going to benefit us. And to be honest, I think we matched them up really well. I can't really remember many times where I felt like they broke us down or they looked as if they were particularly a cut above. I did think there was a few times where we gave the ball away quite sloppily in and around our own box, and that was quite frustrating me. And I thought, we're already playing one of the best teams in the league, if not the best one. Let's not give them any more chances than they've already got. And ultimately, that was what gave them the first goal, was Lafay hesitating too much on the ball. I think he should have just made the decision. Just look at that point, just whack it out for a throw in. It's better than losing the ball there in a really vulnerable position. Is that because we were playing such a good team and they were putting pressure on us? Maybe, but I just felt like sometimes we weren't really thinking about what we were doing. And again, I think we were struggling to get out a little bit because we had so many defenders in the pitch. But equally, that was done to match Arsenal up. So I think, he really set his team up in the best way to get a result. Obviously, as Terry mentioned, a brilliant finish from Ballard. You expect him to score a couple of headers now and again, but not half volleying into the top corner whilst running a goal as well.
We will come on to Ballard shortly. We'll do that. Just very quickly, back on the chat here.
All right then. Okay, back onto the chat then.
Oh, sorry, I thought you was hosting the show now. Sorry.
Well, no, just if I was, I wouldn't be interrupting people. Is the only thing.
All right, okay. Oh, sorry, but I thought you'd finished. Go on, finish off then.
No, well, I was going to say, obviously, great finish from Ballard. Mentioned before, their first goal I thought was sloppy from Lafay, and I thought that was coming. Trossard's goal, just a great strike, bit of individual quality, but of course, till the end, we battled on and. Got our rewards for working really, really hard toward the end of the game and not giving up. Back to yourself in the live chat.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jack. Great chat from John Swinney, who's our friend down in New Zealand. Tune in. Thanks for tuning in, John. Great comment from Arteta to say it's a good away point from a league contender. I like that. I missed that one, but if that's what he said, then I'm loving it. SJ says, Will Alderete even get back in the team? Terry, you want in there?
Yeah, I think I have to give credit to the lads as well, because I think we did restrict Arsenal to only a couple of corners. I think maybe that's, I don't know if that's right, but I think maybe it's two. I read somewhere. But I mean, again, that's what they're dangerous at set pieces, and we did do a really good job that way. Like, I mean, Lafay did lose the ball outside his own box in the first half as well. So, he's been man of the match a couple of times, so we can't really knock him. Every player's going to make one or two mistakes every now and again, but we did battle back, and that, like Jack says, till the end. There's just some slogan that just keeps on popping up every single week.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the amount of goals we scored in 90+ minutes is it just gives you that hope to stay till the very end. Your thoughts on the first half? Then, I mean, we're quite comfortable when the halftime whistle blew and we went in for a cover. Jacob?
Yeah, absolutely. I've just thought that halftime team talk was going to be so crucial in terms of how we approach the game, trying to defend that lead. But for me, obviously, I thought the energy levels obviously dropped from us. They were always going to Arsenal, obviously taking advantage. They did take advantage of that, but I think it just showed. People can say should have Reggie have made the changes sooner, but nah, I disagree. I just thought it was Arsenal's quality that got them back into the game. You have to remember where they are. They're top of the league for a reason. Obviously disappointed, like what Jack said about the fee. Sloppy in possession, just outside our own penalty area, that led to obviously Saka's equaliser. But the second one, Trossard, no keeper stopping that. It was an absolute fantastic strike. And from what happened onwards in terms of us regrouping, the subs obviously worked when they came on at the right time. Obviously, we'll come on to that in a bit. But yeah, the second half.
Well, we're going to get on.
Didn't go the way obviously I would have liked, but to get ourselves back into the game from the position we were in late on, brilliant, right. Obviously from all the players and Reggie. Right,
sorry, Jürgen, for jumping in. We are going to get on to the second half just now, anyway. Terry, first half. Then were we worth our first half lead? Were you happy with when went in at half time?
I was absolutely ecstatic. I mean, I thought it was against the run of play, of course, because, I mean, Arsenal did dictate a lot of the play in the first half that you expect them to. They had that one chance where Eze just put it over the top when Lefebvre made the mistake. And apart from that, apart from a lot of possession, I think we kept them quite quiet, to be honest. But like we didn't create that much, because we're not going to really create that much against one of the best defenses in the league. But that goal was just superb finish. And the score, you just think, wow, we're beating Arsenal at half-time, 1-0. Absolutely fantastic, amazing. And, yeah, what can you say? I was just totally over the moon with that first half performance to keep them there to no goals.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we didn't have massive amounts of possession, but I didn't feel that they really, like, properly worried us, you know what I mean? I wasn't, like, thinking, oh, God, this is just going to... eventually this is going to come. I thought we handled them fairly well. Emma off the channel, our very own Emma, says first half was outstanding. We went out and got in their faces, rattled them so much that they started to play dirty. That's what we did. Jack, first half, were you happy with what you saw first half? Were we worth our first half lead?
I mean, maybe I wouldn't quite say we deserved to be in front at that point in the game, but I would certainly say I was very happy that we were. I don't think we allowed Arsenal to do what they wanted to do, though. I thought we stood them up really well. I thought everything they tried to do, we got in the way of. It was another typical, really hard work and gritted determination performance that we've seen time and time again with the defenders, throw themselves everywhere to get in the way of stuff. I thought defensively we always looked pretty comfortable first half. I did think that changed a little bit in the second, but I know we're going to get onto that. Obviously, we didn't really get out much, and I was thinking of the first half. I actually said this a few minutes before we scored the goal. I said, it's pretty clear as to why these haven't conceded many goals this season. It's because you just can't get out your own defensive third. As soon as we got the ball, we try to play out, you might get one or two passes, and then one of them midfielders just comes over and just elbows you in the chest. And that's it. You're not getting any further. And that's because of how big and physical and quick they all are. So Arsenal are really, really good at preventing the team from actually getting on the break. And I think it's just because of how big they are, really. But obviously there was that one moment we had. We had that deep free kick. Roof sends it in. Ballard, I know we've already touched on it, but you wouldn't expect him to score a goal like that. Taking our chances when we can. So yeah, I don't think we could have done anything else in the first half. Keep it tight defensively, take our chance when we get one. Like I said before, I did think the goal was coming in terms of us giving them the ball in and around the box, because we were quite sloppy, giving the ball away in dangerous positions, and eventually, of course, that did lead to their goal in the second, but couldn't have asked for any more in the first half other than that.
Right, okay, fair enough. Just very quickly, we got to go to the live chat. We want to say a massive thank you to Kosovar Mackham, who's donated $1.99 via the super chat. Can we have a round of applause, please, for Kosovar Mackham? and he said, can we give a shout out to Gary Owl? That is Gary Owl, who still doesn't go to the games. All right, so there you go. Your shout out for Gary Owl there, and thanks for the donation, Kosovar Macam, we should say. Yeah, just very quickly, I want to give it. We'd normally give a shout out to the away fans we get in the wheat sheet. All season, the away fans have been absolutely superb, but for some reason, the Arsenal fans, not all of them, some of them were great, but some of them, what a bunch of tossers. I don't know if it's because they're riding high at the top of the league and what have you, but I mean, we invite all the away fans in and we welcome them to Sunderland, and they're respectful. We're respectful to them, and we have a great time. But for some reason, the Arsenal fans were so far up their own arses. They were just shocking. Absolutely, not all of them, because one or two of them were all right. But other than that, and Emma will vouch for that because she was in drinking loads of pints of beer like she normally does. Right, just very quickly, we have mentioned that Wolf Competitions are our season sponsor of the channel. So we've got to do a quick advert from them. So we'll do this while we go and have a quick wee.
Check out our channel sponsors, Wolf Competitions. You can go to their website, wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Once you get on there, loads of chances to win. There's even free competitions you can enter. You win 500 quid for free. You might as well enter that just for the fun of it. Loads and loads of chances on the website. Check it out. Loads of different prizes. There you go. BMW M3 could be yours. Get yourself in the draw for that. Tons of stuff. What else we got on here? Let's have a look. You can win yourself a holiday. £2,000 voucher, courtesy of TUI. 39 pence. I know, 39 pence to enter. You might as well get yourself in there. Chance to get yourself a holiday. If you fancy a break to Amsterdam there. Look, £1.89 for an entry. Get yourself in that. Have yourself a break to Amsterdam. Loads of chances you can win. Tons and tons of different prizes on wolfcompetitions.co.uk. Look at that. The £1 million wheel. £2 entry. Get yourself in there.
So there you go. Win yourself some money. Wolfcompetitions.co.uk. There is a link in the description. And we had a great gig on Wednesday with them at the fireworks at Ashbury. That was canny. Emma on the chat says she can vouch for us about the Arsenal fans not being that good. They were that bad that she is almost going to start on them. And I'll tell you what, if there's any woman you don't want to fight, it's definitely Emma. From our channel, definitely, without a doubt. Second half, then, lads. Were we not ready for Arsenal second half when we came out? Terry?
No, I just think Arsenal, the one behind, they're decent. They're obviously the best side in the Premier League at the moment, and they upped the game. Simple as. They tried their best to get back into the game. They dominate the ball like they do. They defend really well, so we're always going to be struggling against Arsenal, especially when we're leading 1-0. We're not going to overcommit and try and go for the second goal. We're going to probably, sort of sit back a little bit and defend, soak up the pressure like we do, and then get them on the counter attack. But they are really good, and if we make mistakes like we did, the players just I think sometimes wingers, some of them just don't clear the lines as much sometimes as they should. Like I said, Adingra had a great opportunity to clear his lines on this side. He seemed to just hesitating between two minds whether to try and let the ball go out or just, I don't know, but he sort of lost the ball, which led to their second goal. And again, Roofs did pass the ball out to Lafay and put Lafay under a bit of a pressure. But if like Jack says, if you're in doubt against the best teams in the league, just clear your lines, get out to play, take a throw in, But yeah, I mean, Arsenal did put us under the cosh, which I expected they would do. And, to get a point at this stage in the game, in the league, it is good. But if you look at the league, you can't rest on your laurels. It is very, very close, and we've done absolutely fantastic so far, been amazing. But Bournemouth could have gone second today, and they lost it down to 9th. You're talking 3 points between 4th and something like 12th in the league. So it's very, very close. But so far, so good. We're doing absolutely amazing. And long may it continue. The Fulham game, if we can win that game, that would really put some daylight, cat amongst the pigeons and get us some good daylight from the bottom end of the table.
That puts some cat amongst the daylight. Is that what you're trying to say? Sorry. Just very quickly on the chat, Edward Young says out of the London teams, we've won 3 and drawn 2. Jack, second half, were we just not ready for Arsenal?
I don't know. I mean, like I've touched on before, I did think we were a little bit sloppy in quite dangerous areas. And there were a few times when we should have just sent the ball long and got it away out of danger. Arsenal probably just up the tempo a little bit, increased the pressure on us a little bit. And obviously took that chance when they got it through Saka, and that's what the big teams will do. If you give them an opportunity, they will take it and they will punish you, and that's the difference between the top teams in the Premier League and the types of teams we've been playing over the last few years. I did think it was frustrating because I feel like Lafay had a few seconds to kind of get rid of that before he did, just kick it out for a throw-in as opposed to losing the ball there where the defence is so vulnerable. But as we've already mentioned, we can forgive Lafay for one mistake. He's had some brilliant performances. He works his absolute socks off every game. He's always a threat. Scored the penalty against Brentford. He's been really good for us all season. So we're going to forgive him for that. And then, I mean, in terms of that Trossard goal, I've maybe only seen it once or twice since coming out the stadium. I just think that was a really good strike. He just works himself a little extra yard or two of space, and the ball's barely even out of his feet, and he hits it, and it's within a split second, it's in the roof of the net. A really good strike. And again, that's what the top teams can do. Sometimes you can be defending quite well and just hit it from distance and it'll go in because they've got those types of players. So I wouldn't say there was anything particularly wrong with how we went about the second half. I just think it was maybe a case of, eventually with enough pressure, something's going to give. Most important thing is that the players that didn't let the heads drop. Even going 2-1 behind the league leaders, and we're still a team putting the emphasis on them trying to get a goal. And in my opinion, denied a blatant penalty from Reynaldo. I felt like there was a few decisions that didn't go away that should have done, but they kept going. And it was another very late one, but as well, Robbie, what a goal it was! It wasn't just a tap in. It was a really, really skillful finish. So I think that's the most important takeaway out of the second half is how hard everyone worked and the positive attitude everyone had to secure what is a really good point.
Just before I bring you in, Terry, Joe MCM says Terry talks sense, and let's see if he still continues to talk sense. Terry?
Jack, I know this is I'm talking sense again, but would you take Trossard next year in the team?
I mean, if he's available, I wouldn't say no. Him and Jared Bowen when West Ham get relegated.
There was no stopping that shot, when he took that. So fair play to him. Jacob, were we still back in the dressing room then second half?
No, I think we just weren't. I wouldn't say as far as we underestimated what the quality that Arsenal were going to show. I think we just had to hold our own for as long as we could, really, because we were going to set up the same way, sit deep and try and get them on the break. I think we just obviously didn't hold our own when our energy levels dropped, but that's not necessarily the players' fault. At the time when Trossard got Arsenal second, it was in and around when probably Reggie was considering making substitutions anyway, and those subs obviously worked a treat. We took advantage of Arsenal not going for the third, killing the game off completely, and it goes by our motto fully, obviously, till the end, and it worked a treat yesterday when Robbie came on and us pushing players beyond him when he was doing his effective hold-up play.
Definitely, there's a bit of a a bit of a loving going on here as well. Multi SAFC says, good to see you back on the channel. He's talking to Jack down there. Yes, it is good to see Jack back. He's not on enough. We like to see Jack on. He talks a lot of sense. A bit like Terry, because that's what they say on here. Tom has sussed the game out, really. He says Arsenal's purple patch started in the 47th minute, lasted till the 79th. When we started to get back in the game, we had another chance on 83. And from then on, we turned the screw on Arsenal, but kept going, as you've just said there, Jacob, till the end. There's never been a better slogan used at this club, and it just keeps happening time and time again. So once again, well done to the marketing team. But when we went 2-1 down, they got their second goal. Did you think that was it? Good night, Vienna. Terry?
Well, it's never over until the fat lady sings, as they say. But you kind of think, well, yeah, Arsenal did look as if they were. Arsenal did look as if they were, sort of in total control at that moment. But like Labrie does, he never gives up, and he brought on Brobby, and Brobby is surprising me. He's becoming a better player every time I see him, and he had 1 or 2 opportunities. He's really in your face, and he's a strong person, and he doesn't take any shit. You know what I mean? So, like say him and Ballard up there. I think it was Ballard who headed the ball down for Brobby. And obviously Arsenal fans and Arteta wants the goal to be disallowed because someone decided to dive into Brobby's foot after the ball went to the back of the net, but it was never going to be disallowed. But yeah, like we just as soon as Arsenal went 2-1 up, we brought Brobby on. Then they kind of sat back because we upped our game and forced them back because we had to go for the equaliser. And I think sometimes that's where we had our best towards the end of the games like that. Same against Brentford when it was 1-1, and Isidore scored late on. So I just thought. When they scored, I thought, right, yeah, it's going to be tough now, but it's never over when there's only 1 goal in it.
Johnny Cool. Johnny Cool, who we met down, I think he reminds us it was when we was down at Wigan and when we was down at Morecambe. Hello, Johnny Cool. He said the subs made a big difference, which is just echoing what you just said there, Terry. Just very quickly before I pass this around, because I know we're just 7 likes away from that magic 100 we'd like to hit on a Sunday night. We've got 141 people watching the stream at the moment, so hit the thumbs up. 7 of you get us to 100. So did you think it was game over then, Jacob, when went 2-1 down?
No, I just knew that we had to tweak things tactically to give ourselves even a sniff of getting a point out, because Arsenal had us on the ropes at that point, and if they'd got the third, for me that would have been game over. But I just knew that because the subs we would bring on, we were going to push players forward anyway. Adingra and obviously Talby were going to make runs beyond Brobby, obviously when he held the ball up, and it was the first time Arsenal would have been threatened that second half, and it was a question of whether they had the capability. Obviously, they have shown in the league this year they have dealt with a lot of threat, that they have the best defensive record in the league before that game yesterday. But then again, our defense was really good as well. Obviously, I know we conceded 2 the other day.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay, that's yes.
God, that's
off. Looks so much better like that. That's Jacob, obviously, down in London. Somebody's cut his power, but I don't know what. So he could be back. Oh well, we'll move on to you, Jack. Did you think it was game over 2-1?
Not necessarily. I mean, it did come as a bit of a blow. Oh, so we'll let Jacob finish.
Oh,
It's froze again.
Carry on there, Jack.
Yeah, obviously it did come as a massive blow, and I was really gutted about it. But to me, I've just got so much faith in the Breeze and so much faith in the players at the moment. I just feel like it's never over until it's over. I think if they'd gotten another one in, I probably would have, thought more or less game over at that point. But you can always get one chance. You're always going to get another chance. and you've just got to be there to take it. And I'm confident that Lebris is going to make the right changes and set the team up correctly. Even if he does do things that I disagree with, he tends to always prove me wrong. And I'm always confident that the players have got that belief. And I think one thing that helped us massively yesterday is that we haven't lost a game at home yet. And I think, to me, what mattered just as much as getting another point on the board was getting another game into the season without losing a game at home. The longer that goes on, I think the more intimidated teams are going to be coming here. I think the more confident the fans are, therefore the atmosphere can be a bit better. And I think the more belief that the players have a little bit as well. I think if we hadn't been undefeated in the league at home so far this season, I think potentially the heads could have went down a little bit more. But I just think there was that belief of and that pride of protecting that record. Let's not lose a home game. Let's get through another one. Let's see how long we can go without losing the game at home. And I think that really, really helped us out. So no, I didn't think it was game over. I was confident that the lads would get another chance, and all you got to do is take it when it's there.
Right, okay. Good to see we've got a lot of regulars obviously on the chat referring to Michael Bowers' internet. Jacob obviously round at Michael Bowers' house having problems with your internet there. Joe MCM says rubbish, Jacob. We had them on the ropes. Oh, I don't know what he's doing there. Right, hang on, just let me take that off because we're all covered otherwise. There we go. Right, we don't know what's happened to Jacob just for now, but he's obviously having problems with his Bowers internet. Hang on, he's back here. Oh, there he is.
Bowers' internet had struck again.
Right, oh, there's an echo as well. That's what we like. All right. Right, okay. Just very quickly, it's thrown me now. Somebody was saying, is Xhaka just one booking away from a suspension?
Both of them.
So people are saying he should get booked to the Fulham game. Then it'll be all right for the Mags at home.
I think what's important is that they both don't get booked for the same game. Ideally, one gets booked for one, and then one misses the other, because I think those are the two most indispensable players in the team at the moment. If any of the defenders get injured, we've got other players who can come in there. But in terms of midfield, especially until Diarra comes back, I don't think we've got anyone else who can do what Siddiqui does or do what Xhaka does.
Right, Terry?
Yeah, I think if we do lose one of them, I think Hatruda will fit in there, and I think Alderete will go back on defence. So we do have cover, but like Jack says, we can't afford to lose two for one game, and really we can't afford to lose any of them for the Newcastle game. So that's a bit of an issue. How many more games before that the other cards get cleared off again? Is that
halfway point? 19.
I don't know. I know that. I read the chat.
They're never going to make it halfway through the season. They're not going to get through another 9 games without getting the bookings. So it is going to happen. We've just got to hope it happens.
Right. Okay. Well, look, we're almost out of time here, but so 3 questions all in one. Really. So we've got a couple of minutes and that's it. A lot of people slagging the referee off. So your quick thoughts on that. The VAR decision on Brobbey's goal, a lot of the Arsenal fans are wanting that chalked off, and your man of the match, which is self-explanatory, I think, really. Jacob?
What for Brobbey's second? I don't. What was their complaint? Was it a high boot on the keeper? Is that what they were kicking off about?
Yeah, they're trying to say. Well, they're trying to say the defender's head was. They were trying to say dangerous.
Nonsense, man. Obviously, both Brobbey and I don't know if it was Gabriel. In the midst of that, they both had to go for that at the same time. Obviously, the real question mark should be for Raya. What was he doing coming off his line in that moment? To be honest, he didn't really need to come and collect it. I think Gabriel and obviously Brobbey, it was a good tussle in terms of them trying to win the ball. Brobbey came out on top there, and we got the point.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, I must mention them as well, because Mickey Stewart on the chat has mentioned it. The fans yesterday were absolutely top draw as well. Totally got behind the team. Great place to be, that stadium, when it's like that. It's absolutely buzzing. Jack, the referee, he got slated a bit. the VAR decision on Robbie's goal and your man of the match?
Yeah, I felt as if every decision that could have possibly went Arsenal's way did. I felt as if there was a lot of inconsistencies throughout the entire game. There was times where our players were getting booked for doing absolutely barely anything, and yet Arsenal players were completely clattering into ours, not getting any of the ball, and he wasn't even given a foul. The worst one is when Saka, with two hands, pushed Hume in the back from behind, pushed him over, and didn't even get a yellow card for it. I don't understand how that's possible. Don't see any reason as to why anyone can have any complaints about the goal. It's a battle between who gets there first, between Raya and Robbie. Robbie gets there first. Great flick, great goal. Man of the match, Big Dan Ballard. Solid as ever. Goal and an assist for a centre-half.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob, did we get your man of the match as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Dan Ballard, mate. Fantastic. Running performance.
Terry, your view on the referee, the VAR decision, was it correct for the Robbie goal and your man of the match?
Tend to find referees tend to sort of favour for the top. I'm going to say top four sides. We top four sides. The top couple of teams that are always up there tend to favour them. So the referee was a little bit sort of in Arsenal's favour, but I'm not going to cry about it. I don't like the Arsenal fans and Mikel Arteta crying about a perfectly good goal. It's a contact sport, for God's sake, man. They need to go. Perfectly good goal, brilliant finish. Rhea made a mistake. Gabriel, nowhere near as good as Ballard in that instance. Ballard heads the ball down. Fantastic finish. You know, if you're going to have your head down below knee height, it's your own fault. Man of the match, Dan Ballard.
Absolutely. Just very quickly, John Swinney also says the poppy display was the best on show of all the games yesterday.
Yeah,
and it was. I mean, it was right round the ground. I mean, it was just, massive round of applause to the club. Got it absolutely spot on. I mean, our marketing team this and last season are just, I don't know what they're doing, but they're the top draw. Jacob?
Brilliant. I loved also when obviously you had a full shot of the stadium, how obviously it had the display in the Arsenal end as well. It was a full round.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Yes, it did. It did. They had their three poppies in there. Terry?
I have to say, I thought when Arsenal 1-0 down there, you could hear a pin drop on their end. They were absolutely quiet as a little mouse.
Yeah. They were all right up until then, and then when that's exactly what happened, they quickly shut up. Right, listen, that just about wraps it up. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget, keep my new TikTok counter. Cost me a fortune, that. Keep that ticking over. If you're on TikTok, give us a follow down there. And lads, if we want to wrap it up, Terry, you just want to say bye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody, and enjoy the international break in the Champions League position.
How can you enjoy? And well, yes, being in the Champions League position, but international break.
Just keep staring at that table. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Right, fantastic. Jacob, just say bye to everybody with you.
Bye, everyone. See you in 2 weeks. Obviously, international break coming up, but most importantly, keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Get a pan shot of Terry's screen.
Yeah.
I'm staying on all night. I'm not going to put the TV on, just leaving it like that all night.
Okay, good man. Jack, thanks for joining us again, and we'd like to just say bye to everybody.
Yes, keep the faith till the end. Just get carried away, man. Whatever other slogan you want to throw in there. Thank you for watching.
Get the pubs
we'll be back after the international break. Enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Once again, a massive big thank you to Wolf Competitions, sponsor of our channel for this season. wolfcompetitions.co.uk, giving loads of money away, changing people's lives. Get on the site. There's a link in the description if you want to get yourself on there. Go and win yourself some money. Loads of people win thousands of pounds. Like we say, it changes people's lives. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends about us. And if you are a member of the channel, don't forget to look for your name in the credits at the end. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.